And now, here to help you know your number and grow your number live, the Lossdog Network presents One Lucky Dog with Tom Sosnoff, Scott Sheridan, and a little bit of soul.
Ooh, are you not wearing any pants?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hola. Okay, go ahead, say it.
What, my one word?
Yes.
Hola.
Your one Spanish
Pretty
word.
good.
Yeah. No,
You can't say gracias?
I can say gracias.
De
I got a
nada.
couple of words.
Welcome to the show. Good morning, everyone. Remember, our lines are open.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. 989 Lost Dog. 989 Lost Dog. Call us from now until 10 a.m. Our lines are open. Any questions can be asked. And
Yeah, this is a live call-in show, so don't be shy. I'm ready to go. I got a lot of energy today.
You
don't
do?
know why. Yeah.
I would ask you if you had extra coffee this morning, but you don't drink coffee?
No.
Okay, so here's my guess.
My hot water heater broke overnight.
That's not
yeah, we're
the
not going
guess.
to talk about this.
Did you have extra
Let's just
Did you have
go
extra
straight
caffeinated iced
I
tea?
had 2 hot water heaters. It's impossible for them to break. But yes.
Apparently not impossible. 'Cause they broke.
Apparently not.
Let's do it.
Well, he just doesn't know. It's user error. But anyway,
It can't be user error because I didn't touch
let's
anything.
go.
It can't be user error when you just turn the hot water on
Letters
and,
from the dog
and nothing comes out.
pound.
It can't be user error. Go ahead.
It cannot be user error. I can't.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm ready to go though because do you know what's happening right now? We have a huge reversal going on in silver.
Can you please stop?
We have a huge reversal going on in the NASDAQ. So there's a bunch of things and a huge reversal in some of these.
And you sold almost top tick.
Almost top tick.
Almost top.
I already
top.
covered that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I can't possibly make a good trade.
Okay.
Anyway, today's going to be a fun show, and don't be shy. Call in. Nothing's off limits. This is an AMA. Ask us anything. Ask me anything.
That would be an A.
Ask me
AUA.
anything. Ask me anything.
Can't even
And
spell.
989 Lost Dog. The 3 of us are here, Saul, Scott, and myself. And seriously, we'll cover any topic. We have a bunch of our own, but if you want to ask something else, again, nothing off limits. All right?
All right.
Let's go. Let's start it.
Let's go to letters from the dog pound. What would you consider a minimum account size to start trading with? I am still in school, so the learning part may be just as important as the making money part. What do you think?
I'm going to let Scott go because I have a lot to say about this.
I was curious. I was going to see if you're going to say that. My answer is there really is no minimum to say what you can start with because you can start making, at least with stocks, you can start trading fractionally. If you're going to trade options, you really want to start with at least $2,000. That's just, to me, $2,500. Obviously, a little more is better, but if you wanted to put a couple $100 into an account, if you have that, and you just wanted to start trading fractional stocks, learning about options and eventually working your way up to options, totally fine with it. For me, the most important part is you actually do it. I think it's way better to start, even if it's small, than to sit there and wait and say, I don't have the money, I think I need X, I'm not there yet, I'm gonna wait.
Good answer.
You know, it's funny because when I said, Scott, you start this, what was going through my head was, okay, Scott's going to say, well, I think you need a minimum. Since you're still in school, I think you need a minimum of $100,000. But because that's just what I thought.
Is that what I said?
No, you said kind of the right answer.
Kind of the right. Okay, how about this? Happy Tuesday. Can I have something to throw at him? Go ahead.
No,
let's
we're
hear
just
your
starting
answer.
out. So guy writes me last night.
Is this relevant to this question?
Yeah.
Okay.
So guy writes me last night. He goes, listen.
Hopefully.
He goes, I have a small account, and I've been trading a lot, and I'm basically treading water, right? And he goes, I'm trying to understand. It's not this email. It's a different email. And he said, I'm treading water, and I'm trying to understand why should I even trade if I have a small account? And so I said, yes, and I listed like 5 or 6 reasons why he should trade with a small account. And reason number 1 was because you learn about strategy. Reason number 2, you learn about market structure and derivatives and everything else. Reason number 3, you learn how to take risk. Reason number 4, you learn how to make very fast decisions. Reason number 5, you're beginning the process of wealth creation in your life, so you're kind of learning how to A, manage risk, and B, manage a portfolio. So actually you could say that's 5 and 6. And that's just like the reasons you trade with a small account. But what's a minimum? Just like Scott said, I would be at least $2,000. We've always considered, when we built Tasty, we always considered a Tasty Bites account to be $2,000 or more. And because that pretty much lets you do anything you want to do.
The real reason for $2,000, which doesn't matter for most people, you need $2,000 if you want to buy stocks on margin. If you're not interested in buying stocks on margin, it does not matter. That really is a requirement. I think that's kind of where this came from.
But it's just, we've always said like 2,000, just give yourself a little bit of room. But ideally, a perfect amount would be, between 10 and 25,000. But if you want to start with 2,000 or 3,000 or 5,000, go ahead for the 6 reasons I stated before. And learning is really important. Everybody should learn about financial markets and should learn about taking risk.
Totally
Agreed.
agree. Yeah, good question. Totally
Great.
agree.
Well, how much money did you start with when you started?
On the floor?
No, when you first started, opened your first brokerage account.
I didn't have a brokerage account until I went on the floor.
Oh, you didn't have one until you went on the
Right.
floor?
No, my mom. I lived with my mom. My parents were divorced, and she had an account. I was helping her do a couple things. I didn't have a brokerage account. You had a brokerage account before you went on the floor?
Well, when I got my first job, I had a brokerage account. I had $1,800 in it.
That's good. Who was it with? Merrill?
Drexel.
Oh, Drexel. That's how you got. Wait, you started.
No. I got the job and then I opened an account.
Oh, you got the job.
And I had $1,800 in it. I remember it
They
was
let
yesterday.
you open an account, but just obviously everything had to go through compliance.
Yeah, they let you trade all you wanted.
Not going through compliance?
No, I could trade all I wanted all day long.
Well,
And with
that's
18
changed.
And with,
That changed a lot.
and with $1,800 and $25 minimum ticket charge, I think I did 500 trades in 6 months.
$25 ticket. Those were the days.
Whoa.
Those were the days.
Those
how,
were
did
the
you, how much did you put in your first brokerage account? Do you remember?
I think 2,000.
2,000?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I did 1,800.
Yeah, but 1800
I just graduated.
in the 1920s.
Yeah, but 1800 in
1920s.
100 years
It was
ago.
like 1980,
Okay.
and I just got out of school.
Okay, well, that's probably at least 10 grand today. But anyway,
How old were you when you opened
I was
your-
a baby.
You were a baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That's good. That's cool. All right. Again, 989 Lossdog. Lossdog. Let's see what we got here. I can't go to the next slide.
I knew it. He can't work the clicker.
You can't. I hear it's a click.
there we go.
Are
There
we
you
all
go.
checked out already for the holidays?
Hold on.
What is happening?
Let me just see something for a second.
Back up.
Okay.
I tried to go back one. Go back one, please. And then we'll start. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
I thought I missed one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. So I'm looking for a way to protect some very large unrealized gains for 2025. How can I carry those gains forward into the new year? Maybe an in-the-money covered right?
I mean, this is actually an email that we've received a lot of similar emails because, listen, the market's up. We started the year, I think, around 5,500 and went down to 4,800 in January. I'm sorry, in April, and then now we're going to close the year just under 7,000 in the S&Ps. So it's a pretty big rally year in all the indices. I think that this is a very reasonable question for lots and lots of people. If you're looking for a way to protect unrealized gains and push them forward to 2025, I mean, there's a couple things you can do. Like you said, you can write an at-the-money or in-the-money covered call. That gives you some protection. Whatever the delta is on the call, that's your protection. The other thing you can do like a cashless collar.
I'm missing something here. If you're going, unless you're trying to get out and not pay tax till next year?
Yeah, that's what they want.
Oh, so you just want to lock the gain right now and then sell it on the first, then not pay tax?
Sell it in January, right?
Okay, because if you're just letting it go, who cares, right? But
no, the whole point is they want to get out, but just wait till maybe January.
If you
February.
have a stock position on, you just pick a strike. I mean, if you're just long stock, you just buy, put, and sell a call at the same strike, and you've just neutralized the entire position.
Or you can do it at any strike. It doesn't matter.
I'm saying you just pick
whatever
strike.
you can do, whatever kind of collar you can do, whatever kind of cashless collar you can do. So you could, like, for example,
you can do a straddle. You can do a strangle. It doesn't.
You sell a call, you buy a put, you try to do it for a small
Combo.
credit. That's one way. Or you could just sell an at-the-money call if you want to, or an in-the-money call. But those are
one
all
thing, and by
ways.
no means are we tax advisors, so let's just start there. But one thing you cannot do is you can't create something that gets you out of the position that then puts it right back on again within 30 days. That you cannot do, so that if you're trying to avoid the taxes. But again, if you want to keep the position, you don't have to do anything, but it's easy to hedge. If it's just a straight stock position, that's an easy hedge.
So I'm thinking, with all the things going on in the world right now, the last thing they're going to do is get you buying and selling something within 30 days.
Yeah, let's chill. Oh, they got that guy.
They got that guy. That bastard, he got away with it all.
With 100 shares.
Yeah,
He did one combo against 100 shares. Let's get after him.
Yeah, we're gonna get that guy. Hey, if we got one of our buddies, Dylan from in Lake Placid. Wow.
Oh boy.
Lovely.
Going back to the motherland.
Hello.
Going back to the homeland. Dylan, what's up, man?
That better than Dylan from Paris, but go ahead.
Well,
We
yeah.
can
Yes.
hear you.
I mean, there's no snow, so Dylan from Lake Placid cannot be skiing right now. What's the ski area there? Whiteface?
When it doesn't
I can't remember. Is it Whiteface?
That's why God invented.
Stowe's on the other side.
That's why
It's not
God
Lake
Skates.
Placid. The mountain is not called Lake Placid?
No,
Dylan, what's the ski mountain in Lake Placid?
I can't hear Dylan.
White face.
Hey guys.
Whiteface.
White face.
What?
White face.
White face.
Oh, you hear him?
White face or base? Got to turn
You
your.
really can't hear him? Okay.
His hot water
Again,
doesn't work.
user
Got you.
error.
Dylan, we can talk.
So sorry.
Tom's struggling a little bit with technology. It's called turning his earpiece on. All
I can't hear him.
right.
We'll let Tom figure it out.
I'll repeat the question to Tom.
So I have a great story. All right,
We're gonna try another.
Go ahead. Let's hear a great
Go ahead.
story. By the way, I have to say something to you. I have a little bit of like a crush, and I didn't a male crush, and I didn't realize that you're really good friends with Ari Melber.
Yeah, I was the first person to put him on
All
TV.
right.
I'm his patron.
I have no battery.
I saw you.
And now he's my patron.
I saw you last week sometime, right? Something?
Last week.
Yeah, last week I
Last
saw it. I
Wednesday.
sent it to Tom, and he's like, "Oh my God, they're great friends." And I said, "I had no idea. I think Ari Melber is great."
Well, we should hang out. I'm sure he would appreciate that. He is great, and he is. I think your judgment is correct.
Yeah, I think he's excellent. I think he does. I think he does really good work, and I love his connection to hip hop. So he just likes to bring.
It's stunning and confusing to me. I mean,
Right.
I had to because I always considered him like my just I was a point of great pride, right? Because when you host a show, one of the most fun things is to pick guests.
Yep.
And when you pick guests well and they become big stars, you're like,
Where was he? Where was he before he
I
started?
can hear.
he's a
Dylan
lawyer.
now.
He was making appearance. He was a lawyer
What type of law?
in this very smart. I think it was constitutional, but I don't want to get into. I don't know.
Got it. Anyway,
All I know is that he was a sort of smart young lawyer in the city, and we were building an MSNBC show and needed to build a panel.
Well, you picked
I
a
wanted to
good
build a
one.
panel.
Yeah, you're always Dylan. I can finally hear you. You're always on with him when you come back to the States, which is great.
Yeah, no, I'm grateful for him that he gives me a platform to even go in and say something once in a while. So,
Yeah.
guys, and Morning Joe had me. I'm going to do a bunch of stuff next week. The week of January 5th, I have a lot scheduled. I'm genuinely concerned about that, what I was saying with that, but that's not why I called you. I called to tell you about my first brokerage account, which is, I think, an amazing story.
Okay, I want to
Love
hear
to
your
hear
first.
it.
I want to hear about your first brokerage account. Go ahead.
I mean, all right, are you ready?
Yeah.
So I'm 23-ish. I'm working at Bloomberg on like the spot, like I did just do whatever, like learning the Bloomberg terminal.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
a buddy from college who's like, let's do something, right? He's into
Yeah.
it. He's like doing he had a different, like a whatever, like a sales job or something. Not Wall Street, like something product or something. And we put 10 grand in an account. And it didn't go well at all. Only options, calls, that lost. 10, 8.
I'm surprised they let you trade at Bloomberg. I'm surprised they let you trade.
They didn't. That's why I was breaking. They didn't. That's why it's a good story. I was like, what do you mean you can't trade? Like, we were fully confined. That's
Well,
why
I
we
would think
put
it would
the
just go
name
through
of
the
brokerage
compliance, which would
account
mean
in my
you can't
friend's name.
Yeah.
We just put the account in. It was like you put the account in Scott's name.
What
Like,
brokerage
listen,
firm were you at? Do you remember?
I must have been Schwab or Fidelity. I don't know.
Okay.
All I remember was when we would have bad days, which would be
Yeah.
most days.
Yeah.
There was no price discovery. It wasn't like the internet. It didn't not to
Right.
date myself. But so
Yeah.
he would have to call me at the end of at the close for me to read the prices, like what the bids were on whatever the things were that this account held. Or he had to wait for the paper the next day. And
Wow.
so then I would nudge the prices on the phone to make it not so bad.
Do you know that
then
Dylan
you
was the
would get the
first
paper in the
host on
morning?
Bloomberg TV?
Dylan, you were the first host
No,
on
hang
Bloom-
on. The story gets better. The story
Oh.
gets better. So we're down. We must have been down to $1,000. We're down 90% within like
Here.
a month.
Here comes the shot.
But we've
Yeah.
got a pile of Flowserve calls way out of the money. Way out. And something happened with Flowserve. I don't know what it was. Something good. It was like either got sold or something. And the account went to like 80 grand.
Wow.
And then we decided that we need to do more of this. And
And how fast did they count?
it went from 80 back to like 7 grand in like 3 weeks because then we're like, obviously we just need to take bigger positions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's typical. I mean, that's not. When you're that age, yeah, you think when you got to 80 grand, you feel like
You're going to turn it into $1 million.
Yeah. Why would you
When
turn it
you
into
do the
$1 million?
math, you're like, if we can just make 1,000 into 80,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
what can we do with 80? Well, that's 8 million. All of a sudden, you got $1 billion by Friday.
When I first started trading, I was doing the math all the time. When I first got to the trading floor, I was doing that same math. Well, I made $1,000 today, so I'm just gonna in an hour. So tomorrow I'm gonna work 8 hours, and I'm gonna make $8,000, and then that's $2 million a year. I had it all figured out.
Yeah. What's the problem?
So Dylan
Doesn't
was the
seem to work,
first.
though.
You were the first
Anyway.
host. You were the first host on Bloomberg TV, weren't you?
No, I was the first host of the morning show. Like they launched.
Oh,
They
the
went
first
from
host of
doing,
the morning show. Yeah.
reports. Like they were doing reports for just to have a product, and then they finally decided to hire a woman from NBC, like a TV people, and they want to organize like a 2-hour, like a morning show, a competitor to Squawk Box, basically, which
Got
is
it.
a different audience, really. But Mike Bloomberg was like, I want a show to watch every morning.
You know what I've always wanted to
And
ask you?
basically, he's like, you work for me. He's like, you have an audience of one.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll
You know what
come
I
in
wanted
and
to always
I'll watch
ask
every
you?
morning.
I wanted to ask you this question for a long time. I don't understand this. Why, when you started there, was so early, and Bloomberg wasn't even a billionaire then or whatever else? Why didn't you?
No, he was.
Oh, he was back then.
Yeah, he probably had like 2 or 3 billion. He was already in the papers. Like I was 1990.
Oh.
He'd already blown up pretty big. by the time, he was already not just some guy from Salomon Brothers.
Oh, okay.
He was probably 8 years in.
Yeah.
He had
All
like
right.
3,000 terminals out.
Oh, okay.
He was in the New York
Yeah.
Times. Like, it was a business.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was your question going to be?
I wanted to know why you didn't get any of Bloomberg. Why you didn't own any of the company, because you were early on.
Nobody did. Nobody. But it didn't matter. The way he ran that cap table, nobody
Yeah.
did. 'Cause
Nobody
he had
did.
enough money
Okay.
coming out of Solomon. And then he did the Solomon. It didn't matter if you're the first or next, if you're the second guy on the deal team. I mean, he created a small sliver. So basically,
Yeah.
the way he did that business, which is very sort of well documented, is he took his severance from Solomon. He signed Merrill to do 20 terminals
Yeah.
as an anchor client. And then he found this guy, I forget his name, who lived outside of Princeton, New Jersey, who was some sort of a collector who had basically collected every single prospectus of every single securities offering, convertible bond, preferred stock, whatever, the biggest and the small, every prospectus, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Piece
yeah.
of paper. I'm talking warehouses that are for miles.
Was this
Crazy.
early 80s?
Full crazy.
Yeah.
Early
This
80s.
is whatever. This is when this is probably late 70s, because this is how he started the company. He
Late
gets
70s.
fired. He's got the money. He has the client. And then he's got this idea to sort of digitize all the data so that people could have a terminal instead of having to flip to find out whatever the coupon
There
was.
were a
on
couple
the
of
thing
terminals
from the
back
last-
then. There were a bunch of terminals back then, but none of them took off except his. Remember, we were managing some money back in the late 80s, early 90s, and we needed a Bloomberg. We needed some of the information. Had a Bloomberg terminal, but it was like ridiculously expensive. 'cause they
Crazy
wouldn't-
expensive.
It was like $1,800 a month, and they wouldn't negotiate. And we only needed one number on there. We needed one dividend number. So we're like, we don't really need your stupid terminal because we have 8 other terminals. We just need your
Can you
dividend
just
number.
tell us the number?
And they go, oh, you just need the dividend number? $1,800. The guy's like, the sales guy's like, oh, all you want is the dividend number? $1,800. And there was no negotiation. And then when we built Thinkorswim, we decided that we were also managing some hedge funds, and they'd go, you guys should have a Bloomberg terminal. So like, okay. And then they wanted like $1,800 a month for like 5 terminals. And it was like, it's the most ridiculous. I told them, we'll see you later. We never had it, so we've never ever had a Bloomberg terminal. Hey, Dylan, we got to run, man. We got a lot of people on. We got a lot of lines open.
Of course,
so
great. See ya.
Nice chatting.
Hey, thanks.
All right, we'll talk. All right.
That's Dylan Ratigan. And we do have 4 lines open. So 989, Lossdog. We're going to jump over. We're going to go to the other side because Dylan's in Lake Placid. You ever been to Lake Placid?
I haven't.
No, but I think
It's beautiful.
I saw it. Can
I
you see it
imagine.
from Vermont?
Can you see it from Vermont?
Yeah, because my cousin, we were in, I think you can see, isn't it across Champlain or whatever? Is that
Lake Champlain.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you can see. I think she's like, it's right over there.
That doesn't count for anything.
No,
You
I've
can
never
see
been
it.
there, but that was close. I was in Vermont.
Well, the Olympics were there.
In 76.
In 80.
Okay, 80. In 80.
Daniel,
Again,
what's happening,
100 years
brother?
ago.
What's up, Daniel?
Hi, I'm driving to spin class due to Scott's positive influence. So first
Ooh,
thing I wanted to say is Tom,
yay!
you should listen to him more often.
That's
Thank
very
you, and I
exciting.
totally agree with you.
Listen to
Daniel, I got my Peloton
Good for you.
update yesterday, and this year I rode almost 3,300 miles.
Right.
That's-
So Tom, listen to Scott more often.
There we
Listen
go.
to Scott more
I-
often.
I just want to.
Do you know where I would be in my life
That's
if I
right,
listened to
he's
Scott
right.
more often? I don't
So
even
I
want to know
wanted
where
to
I'd
say
be.
this. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a truth seeker, and I want to know how can we trust the government economic numbers since the government administration is corrupt and morally bankrupt.
Oh, you have a really simple question for me, like what Delta call should I write if I'm doing a covered call? You want to know how do we solve the morally bankrupt ethical problem in this world? I don't know why, Daniel, you would pay any attention to a government number to start with. Like, why?
It has an effect on the markets.
Well, what do you want the markets to do? I mean, let's say I told you.
Depends what my
Let me ask you this question.
right.
What government, if I told you you can make up any government number you want because you want to push the markets in a certain direction, do you even know what you would do? Like, that's the thing that drives me crazy about people that think that you
Yeah,
know,
I mean, if you came out and you said inflation was 20% or you said unemployment,
Right, whatever.
was 15%, yes, the market's going to go lower.
hey, the last person, just imagine you're sitting there long bonds. You're expecting interest rates to go lower. So you knew before everybody else that the Fed was going to drop interest rates at the last time by 25 basis points.
And they didn't
yet
move.
bonds are a point lower. Like, it's like, even if you knew what was going to happen, you really, this is not like trading
They're half
places.
a point lower. They were 115 and a half.
Yeah, but this is not like trading places where you can, like, it doesn't matter what anybody knows. It just doesn't, like, even if you made up the number, it doesn't mean they know what's going to happen. Unless it's just a
Just like
talking
earnings
point.
reports then.
Yeah, it is exactly like earnings reports.
But I think the erosion of trust in the government is really an important thing to consider, since historically that's always been used as a gauge of, let's say, objectivity.
Well, it's very difficult to have a lot of trust in an administration where the president lies 20,000 times a day. So I find it difficult for anybody
That's
to have
right.
trust
So
this
it's a
government.
problem.
Yeah.
Well, it's also going to become a problem if people don't trust the numbers. Are we going to have other countries that are going to still want to buy our
Well,
bonds?
you used to think
because if people don't believe
were
the numbers,
independent.
right?
You used to think they were independent. Now you kind of wonder.
Yeah. So now, if other countries don't believe, and they're big buyers of our bonds, and if they don't believe the numbers, they think that things might be worse. They might not be interested at these levels. They might say, "Look, we'll buy them, but we need a higher rate." So
One of the biggest challenges we're going to face over the next, from 2028 on, is building back the integrity.
it's going to take the rest of our lifetime.
This could take the rest of ours.
Yeah,
Daniel, yours
for sure.
too.
The rest of yours.
Yours, mine, and Scott's. But building
I
back U.S.
I
integrity
totally
is-
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sad.
that's the sad part.
One of the things that distinguish the U.S. From banana republics is that in banana republics they make up the numbers to do whatever they want to do,
Right.
and now that seems to be happening here.
There you go. Don't
Dan-
think about this before. I don't want you falling off your spin bike.
Daniel, have a great
No,
holiday.
I'm at the gym now.
All right.
Have a great holiday.
Okay. You
Have a
too.
good class.
Bye, man.
Thanks for
Okay.
calling in.
We're going to jump from Oregon on the West Coast. We're going Lake Placid to Oregon. We're going to jump back.
We cannot talk football with this person.
We're going to jump to Philly.
Sorry.
Caesar, what's going on, brother?
Caesar.
Hey, good morning. Thank you
Hey,
for
good morning.
taking my call. Happy holidays to
Hey, same to you.
Happy
you,
holidays.
Scott. Can I give you a little context of how I got you guys?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Go ahead. Just keep it quick.
So I came into the United States in 1977, right? And so I went to school trying to learn English, and then they finally put me in a couple classes other than English, right?
Where'd you
And,
come in from? Where are you from?
From Italy. Actually, my
Okay.
name is Cesare, but nobody could pronounce Cesare, which only rhymes with desert, right? But so I said, okay, just call
Well,
me
now
Caesar.
I know it's
I
Cesare.
like it. Cesare.
Cesare. Well, Sol could
Soul
pronounce
could
it.
say it the
Cesare,
best.
yeah.
Well, let's. Yeah.
Okay,
Cesare.
go ahead. Sorry about that.
Cesare,
Go.
yes. The three classes they put me in was accounting, technical drawing, and the computer programming. I couldn't wrap myself around computer programming, so I'm like, okay, technical drawing. I loved accounting. I was thinking about going into finance, but then I switched to technical drawing, went to architecture, and then it parlayed that into just starting being an entrepreneur. I really feel like I'm a merchant in my heart. And then 20 years later, I decided to go into teaching, and I taught some entrepreneurship in an urban environment.
Okay.
And
Right.
now that I'm basically somewhat retired, I got this thing about finance and trading pulling me back into my life, right?
Okay. All right. Well, so what's your question?
So the question I have, since everything is priced for you, Tom, perfectly priced, what drives your conviction towards a particular trade or underlying assets?
Yeah, we are what we call efficient market theorists, right? So the efficient market essentially states that what the price you're looking at is the good price. And, in today's world, we don't necessarily believe anything's mispriced. But that doesn't mean there's not an incredible emotional element to the way markets work. I mean, that's the 85% of it is inside the expected move, and the 15% that gets outside the expected move, it's kind of like maybe it's short term, maybe it's long term, but it is what we consider to be price extreme. And I think that 15% of outside the normal ranges is what drives most of the activity in trading. So that becomes completely subjective. So, that's why everybody's so opinionated. I mean, that's why I'm opinionated. That's why Scott's opinionated, and that's why we'll take market direction on different things, on different underlyings, whether it's futures or stocks or betting on even short premium staying inside the range. But that's always been my answer, is that you can always find about 15%, not necessarily. It's not easy to do, but there's always about 15+% of all the tradable underlyings that are at some form of price extreme. It might be a volatility extreme, might be a price extreme, whatever it is. But that's my answer.
And mine, I'm going to just add a little bit extra to that, where I'm going to say there's a psychological component where you can have the FOMO trade. And I think really the meme stocks emphasize what can happen when something, look at GameStop, the stock, where it went from 5 to 500. I mean, that pure insanity. Well, I don't think we will ever see that in our lives again. I have to say, when I was running a brokerage firm, I love that as an example, because people would say, we'd tell people they have to take off some risk because whatever the position, not GameStop, something else. They're like, well, that can't happen. And I'd say, well, it happened in GameStop, so if it happened there, it could happen here, so we need to reduce. So I think what we get is some of the momentum trade, and I'm hoping right now, silver, that maybe the momentum has just come out. But I mean, this was crazy. I started selling it at 52, and it just traded 78, 70, 75 this morning. That's an insane move. This isn't a stock that came out with, some amazing product or earnings or a drug or something. This is a commodity. It's silver. So under the heading of nobody knows where silver is going to go, pot odds for me say that it's going to have a significant pullback in the foreseeable future. But I think the psychology of trading, where people fear that they're missing something, they want to pile in, more on the upside than the downside. You don't see on the downside. The downside, you just will see a vacuum. But on the upside, which is, again, Tom and I being contrarians, and I think most former traders, floor traders, are contrarians, we're always looking for the extremes, high or low. Typically, it's more on the high side where we're getting short than the low side. But when things sell off dramatically, we're looking to get long in those underlines.
That's a good. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
So in general, you're always looking for the short?
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
Sometimes,
what I'm saying is, being a contrarian, and the market typically is going up. Yeah. So therefore, we're looking typically looking to sell upside calls in there. But in April, when the market broke, I didn't have much on, of course, that's just the way the world works. But at that point, I was selling puts because I'm happy to buy stocks, down at these levels. Unfortunately, I had to get hit, but I made money.
Well, you're not trying to buy stocks, you're just getting long.
I'd be happy to buy the stocks down at that level.
But nobody's ever happy to buy stocks. When you sell puts, you're happy to get long at those levels. It's just a delta thing.
Correct.
He's never happy to buy stocks when he sells them. Nobody in the world ever sold a put and go, wow, I really want to buy that stock there. Because when you buy that stock there, you hate it. Everybody who sells puts wants to get long because you think the market at that point or that stock's oversold. If you're selling calls and you're getting short, you think the market's overbought. And we are just under record highs. So most of the plays right now are on the short side. But for example, I'm long bonds here because I think those are oversold.
Are you selling? You said yesterday if it got on 115, you sell some 114s?
I did this morning.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but that's the answer to your question. We think that pricing is very accurate, especially derivative pricing, but that doesn't mean that opportunities are, all zero-sum games.
Excellent. So I got time for one more quick question.
Yeah, quick one, because we got a lot of people on hold. Go ahead.
I'm just, like I say, it's a learning curve. I'm trying to learn everything about this. Is margin a requirement, first of all? Because I really hate to get into margin. Is a requirement for trading options?
There's no margin on options.
Wait a minute. Stop. When you say margin, there's multiple meanings to the word.
Having a margin account.
Let me explain it. You cannot borrow money to trade options. There is no margin. The only thing you need margin for is if you're buying stocks on margin. There's no margin to trade options. There's no margin to trade futures. Okay, there's no margin to trade option spreads. It's just cash.
Actually incorrect. There is plenty of margin. Okay, he's an idiot. Oh my God. There's plenty of margin when you're trading futures. You don't pay for the future. You don't pay for the full amount. You're paying 7, 8, 10, 12%.
That's leverage. That's not margin.
Yes, that's margin. That's leverage. That's what it is. You're paying separate. Okay.
Don't confuse it. Margin is when you borrow money.
I'm glad I got you guys.
Margin is when you borrow
Fired
money.
up.
Leverage is completely different. There's leverage when you trade options. There's leverage when you trade futures.
If you
but
sell-
you cannot borrow money to do it.
If you sell options naked or a spread, either way, there is a margin requirement which is based off of what a spread, the max width, and for an individual margin it depends.
Listen, you're new to this game.
Oh my God.
This
Oh
part
my
of the game.
God.
You're very new to it. There's no margin requirement. There's a buying power reduction. Okay, it's not a margin requirement. It's a buying power reduction.
Okay.
Sorry,
But he
I have
should
to correct him.
understand this part,
Scott
too.
hasn't been on air in a long time. He's
Oh my
on the
God.
back
Okay.
end side. But anyway, I got to let you go.
Can I say goodbye to Cesare?
Yes.
That is really good, Cesare.
Cesare.
Thank you, Sol. Appreciate it, Chester, and always go Birds. I love your Bears, but go Birds. Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Hey,
Bears.
with all due respect to the Eagles, they're not going anywhere this year.
I know, but we could have a third game where we had the Fog Bowl and then we had the double doink. I could see us having just a regular game.
Was the double doink against you guys?
Yes,
boy.
yes.
Ok, grazie mille Cesare e buon Natale.
Oh, parlo italiano. Grazie, Sol. Forza.
Buon Natale.
Forza, grazie. Buone
Call in
anche a lei.
again. Call in
I
again.
will. Buone feste. Ciao.
We're going to Mike.
Grazie.
We're going to Mike in Westchester. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Sorry for keeping you on hold.
It's okay. Actually, that was one of the questions I had for you, Tom. Were you at Soldier Field in 2018 when the double doink happened?
I was not. I was watching it on television, and I was so mad.
I was on an airplane. I was mad.
I was watching it on television.
I couldn't watch it.
It was the most miserable. Because 2018, the Bears were pretty good.
Who's the quarterback in 2018? I have no idea.
Let me just think for a second.
Because the Bears have had about 64 quarterbacks in the last 20
Oh my
years.
God, I can't believe I can't think what the quarterback was in
Yeah,
2018.
who was the quarterback?
Oh, it had to be Cutler.
Oh yeah, Cutler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it was a brutal game.
Brutal.
And that was a game we should have won, but that was the last time the Bears were good was 2018. So this year the city is out of
Buzzing.
control.
Lovey?
City is
Are
buzzing.
you in Chicago, Mike, or
Yeah.
No, I'm in, this is
Westchester.
Bank. I'm in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
Bank. Oh, sorry. Didn't say that.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Westchester, but Westchester, New York.
Yeah, I always tell Jeff or Joseph, I'm not sure which of
Oh.
his names is the first one.
Oh,
always
got
tell
it.
them
I didn't.
I'm from the one that I always tell people it's two words, and it drives me nuts when people around here, they call it Westchester with one word, but...
God.
I didn't even
also
know
heard
that.
near-
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
yeah.
We also have a Westchester,
Yeah, we're-
Illinois,
Yeah.
but that's one word. So now we know.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no.
Okay, so
should
I
make
didn't.
that mistake
Trubisky was
again.
the quarterback. Look at that.
Trubisky. There you go.
Wow.
All right, what do you got, Bank? What's going on today?
Okay, so I'm interested in seeing your white paper.
On our
No,
Lost Dog
we're
white
dealing-
paper? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
so,
publishing it
if we
very
could-
soon.
Okay. This whole, everything you're doing is very interesting to me. So I do
Thanks.
a lot of, financial modeling, and I've
Yep.
done valuations, intangible assets, those kind of things. So here's the key. The perception of value. So I looked up Sol's resume on LinkedIn. I saw she was your assistant at one time, or maybe Scott's. I don't know. It says
Scott's.
EA to the founder. I thought there were two founders, but that's a joke.
Yeah,
But,
no. Sol worked directly with Scott when we built Thinkorswim, and Sol also was worked with Scott and myself back when we were on the trading floor. So we have a lot of
Okay,
history together,
so-
like 30 years.
Okay, so her value to you guys is off the charts because you know her, you have experience with her. Now she puts herself out in the marketplace. someone that doesn't know her, it's going to be a different perceived value. But
Correct.
before you answer that, I just want to tell you the quick story about Tom Brady's jersey that was stolen in the beginning of 2017 after the Super Bowl.
Okay, I remember that.
You remember that, right?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so so what I did was, when it was stolen, I was thinking the charges are going to be based on the value of the jersey. So I wrote to the chief of police, Acevedo, and I said, look, if you need someone to value that jersey, I can do that. And you asked why would I do that? It was kind of like a low probability shot. Let's say my name gets in the papers, and next thing you know, I'm known as the guy that does memorabilia.
Okay.
So I never followed up, never heard anything. I watched this YouTube a couple weeks ago. This turned into an international scandal. They eventually located the guy in Mexico. He was a newspaper guy, like senior level.
Yeah, he was a sports reporter or something.
Oh, he grabbed it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He grabbed it in the locker room.
Yeah, so then when they went, so they showed up at his house at 4 a.m, and he coughed up Super Bowl 51.
Okay.
And he coughed up the jersey from 2 years later that nobody knew.
Okay.
And then they said, you got anything else? He coughed up a helmet. So they didn't end up charging him. They didn't end up charging him because Tom Brady forgave him, and the other one was that jersey was going to be worth $83 in Mexico, and he had a good defense that this jersey's worth $83, so they didn't charge him. So we're going back to the perception of value. How this is just going to be,
that's a long way to go to the perception of value. So what is Sol's value? That's the purpose of this. So what are you trying to tell us?
Well, how's that going to work into your model? Because you've got the human factor.
Obviously there are we're going for our model is basically trying to make the distribution curve of how we're trying to value things as wide as we can, and we think we're going to be pretty accurate in that, inside of that kind of 85% of the time range. So, there are going to be outlier cases like the Brady jersey where, I'm sorry, it wasn't worth $83 for sure, but that's what was valued there. And that market could be 83 to 8,300, and that doesn't do anybody any good. But for the majority of people, and Sol is a great example. She's probably worth more to us, or maybe, I don't even know. Maybe she's not a great example. But there are definitely going to be people that are worth more in their current role because they have certain things going on, there's a certain set of circumstances that we just can't value. And that is what it is. But for the majority of people, it's going to be really cool. And our white paper is pretty extensive. I mean, we just wrapped it up. Now we're proofing it, but I want to say it's a long one. It's like 10 or 20 pages, something like that. I haven't even read through the whole thing yet. It's pretty intense how we break down our methodology, and I think people are going to like it. I mean, we're doing the best. We're going to do the best we can, given all the information that's out there. But sorry, Beck, I got to run, man. Go ahead. We got one more.
Yeah, it's a long way, but it was a fun way. So, all right, carry on. Thanks, Tom.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.
So I'm a Tom Brady jersey.
You are the Tom Brady jersey of Lossdog. I was trying to figure out, does that make you worth more?
So,
Yeah, I wasn't sure
No, but it's a good question. But, Lossdog you'll be able to input your experience, your skills, all of that, which
a lot of it's on you.
I clearly don't have any of that on LinkedIn.
Right,
a lot of that's on you.
I don't have that on LinkedIn.
The it factor should come across in the interview.
Absolutely.
Right,
but still, you want to look at the resume.
Yeah, of course.
But
none of that is in LinkedIn.
So on Lossdog, when you get to our software, you will upload your resume or you will pull from LinkedIn, whatever you have on there, and then that's all we know.
Right.
But beyond that, the more information you give us
right.
when you're putting together your profile, that's how we actually get to the.
The more accurate your number will be.
Right. So we have a measure to see how accurate numbers are, and unless you get up into that, I want to say 75 to 80% range, it's hard for us. But if you get up, the more information you give us, the closer we get to a more accurate number, or to the best number possible.
Right.
Okay. All right.
All right. So we're going to go to a mailbag?
Yeah, but our lines.
Letters from the dog pound?
Our lines are still open. 989
Yes.
Lost Dog, and let's go letters of the dog pound.
Okay. This is a funny one. What are your thoughts on Ackman's plans to take SpaceX public by issuing rights to Tesla holders?
So this was a comment that Bill Ackman made on. I read this on X yesterday.
Yeah.
Or the day, I don't know.
A couple days ago.
Couple days ago. And basically he said, why? So SpaceX has a very high probability of going public in the next year, and his argument is, why take it public and pay all the money to these investment banking houses, because it's going to be like almost $1 trillion offering, some ridiculous number.
1.5.
Oh, it's 1.5? Okay.
Yeah.
So 1.5 trillion. So why give up whatever percentage that, I don't know, 1%, 2%, whatever these guys are going to take. Usually it's like 5 or 7, but this time it'd probably be 1% or something, because it's massive. But why do that when you can use his special purpose acquisition?
Well, he wants to take this to a SPAC?
Not a SPAC. It's a special purpose acquisition rights offering, or rights thing. It's like a
Where
SPARC.
he'll do it for half?
He'll do it for nothing. And he'll do it for basically cost. It's like he has one that's blank.
Why would he do it for cost? What's the catch?
The catch is that he gets as much of it as he wants, and he gets all the, he gets all the flow and everything. There's his SPARC, whatever, I think it's called a SPARC, but SPARC, I think it is.
Okay.
Or CR, whatever. That would then put that on the map, and then that would be the trading vehicle.
And then others would come through and do the whole
That's
thing.
right. And then he'd offer the rights, because it's a rights offering. He'd offer the rights to Tesla shareholders.
Did Musk respond?
I don't know.
GFY?
I don't know if Musk responded.
I mean, I would like to think that the investment bankers would work with him, that it's not going to be a traditional deal. My guess is whatever price SpaceX comes out at, it's going to be significantly oversubscribed.
I would think.
I mean, it's a nice try by Ackman, but my response to him would be, fuck you. I mean, it's Bill Ackman, okay? Is there anything that Bill Ackman has ever done that you trusted?
That's not for him.
That's not for him.
Right.
Don't give me the crap that you are, that this is a gift to the
Yeah, he's
Tesla's.
giving one back. This is a pro bono trade.
Yeah, this is a thank you for taking care of the Tesla shareholders.
Right, because I deeply, deeply care for the Tesla shareholders.
What you care about is your own. Is he a holder of SpaceX? I have no idea.
Probably.
I mean, it's no idea. He just.
Your own pocket.
This is a nice try, dude. But I just don't. Ackman's one of those guys where I'm not sure I trust anything he does on any level ever. So that's my 2 cents on Ackman.
All right.
Not one of my favorite people in this world.
Got that.
Let's go to the next slide.
Yeah, we got there's the thoughts. Okay, this is another good one. After spending close to a decade in my last role, the job market feels fundamentally different. I found myself missing the kind of work environment where people wore multiple hats and built things together. From your perspective, how should experienced professionals approach today's hiring market looking for corporate cultures that still value that kind of environment?
Oof.
A little heavy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's a good one.
Yeah, no.
I mean, unfortunately, I think today's corporate culture is just very different than what it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. So if I'm reading through the lines correctly, I would say look for more of a startup, because I'm not saying a startup, but a company that has more of the startup mentality, because I think that's going to give you what you're looking for.
This is funny because we've always built companies that have exactly what you're kind of looking for. That's kind of been our MO from the start. When we built Thinkorswim, it had that, that culty culture vibe type thing. And Tasty, I'd say, would be the same thing.
Yep.
And hopefully Lossdog turns into the same thing too. That I like that culty type culture, which it's not like it's
Sterile.
very, very
it's not a
flat.
sterile corporate world.
No,
Yeah.
believe me, we've been bought by sterile corporate companies, and I don't.
And we ran.
And we run. There's a song like that, yeah.
I ran.
So we've been a little bit on both sides. But what we build is, everybody. It's very flat. Everybody has to take out the garbage. Everybody has to wear multiple hats. Everybody has to, pick up lunch. The whole deal.
Pitch in.
That's like Scott said. The smaller the company, the closer you're going to get to that.
Yep.
Sometimes you sacrifice some money. I mean that's the trade-off.
The problem is, in fairness, big corporations have multiple layers, and once you start getting into multiple layers, to me, there's ceilings and floors, and you block the ability to interact. Whereas the companies that we have always built, horizontal, somebody wants to come up and talk to me or Tom, have at it. Let's sit down and have a conversation. So again, it's out there. I think you're going to have to go much smaller than what you probably are, where you currently are, or what you're looking for.
But remember the trade-off, because we've done a lot of work on this. The bigger the company, it usually comes with a higher salary, because that's the only way for them to attract experienced professionals like you. Because if everything was equal and the startup environment and all that kind of stuff had the same exact salary structure, then they would never hire anybody. So the way for big corporations to get really good people is to pay up. And so if you're looking for a certain environment, you take a little bit less money, but you'll be much happier. Maybe.
Yeah, so good luck. Stay in touch. Why don't we jump to, before we continue on here, why don't we jump to Ben in Maryland?
Hey, Ben, what's up?
Hello, Ben.
Hi, how are you?
We're
Good, how you doing?
How's it going? I'm
We're good. We're good. What's going on?
Yes, I saw what you guys are doing, kind of valuing people's careers with information.
Sure.
And I think, like the market you were talking about, you've got that 15% of emotion. And I think definitely, as you get into careers, different types of career paths, startup versus, working for big companies, definitely a lot more variation there. So I'm a senior at UC Berkeley. I'm studying electrical engineering, computer science, and took last spring off. And I've been basically working full-time in startups in San Francisco for the past year. And, you get a lot of varying advice from, people in the Bay versus outside of the Bay versus your parents on what you should do for your career path. And I'm definitely leaning towards building a company. So I've been working on some projects this year as well. So I just kind of want to hear your perspective on that.
How old are you?
I'm sorry, did you say what year when you took, where are you right now when you stopped?
So I'm currently enrolled in I'll be enrolled in my last semester, but I did take a semester off last spring.
But you are going back to finish?
Yes, one semester.
Perfect. That would be my starting point. When you're that close to the finish line, get the degree. So how have the startups, how has the field been? Obviously, if you're thinking about doing it yourself, it must feel like a good fit for you.
Yeah, I definitely really enjoy it. So the first company I worked at was a Y Combinator back company, and I joined as like their first hire a month after they started. And they went from like 2,000 a month in revenue to about 50 in the 2 months I was there. After that, I decided to leave. And then I started something in the home services industry, which I ended up selling in August before coming back to school. And then from August till just before Thanksgiving, I was working in commercial real estate with two other guys on underwriting software. And we decided to pivot. And we're fundraising. I ended up leaving because I wanted to, make sure I was raising money on something that I had conviction in, and we were going to pivot. They ended up continuing on and raising some money.
Hey, how old are you,
I'm working
Ben?
by myself.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
21. So the challenge you're going to have, sorry to interrupt, but the challenge you're going to have is you're 21, and it's not insurmountable. But the challenge is 21-year-olds have a more difficult time raising capital than 31-year-olds. So just because of the level of experience, people aren't going to, you're not going to garner the same amount of trust, that kind of thing. But I mean, you can also work a lot cheaper, and you can do a lot of your own stuff. And when you're 21, you can build a lot of stuff yourself. The difference is, what the expectations are. I think there's a lot of value, believe it or not, in you still continuing to work with other people and other small startups. And I think there's a lot of value in you learning more about the startup world and learning more how to network more, because when you really want to go out there on your own and build something, you're going to need more capital than you can probably raise right now. It's very difficult. It is very difficult for young people to raise the necessary capital to build something pretty big. And that's the only thing I'll just kind of throw out there as a little bit of a warning.
But I will say, I'm envious because at 21, you sound like you got the world ahead of you. So have fun with it.
Have you seen a lot of 21-year-olds? Like with crazy
he's already
success?
had some really good experience. I said he's got a lot ahead of him. There's no guarantee it's going to happen, but you have a lot of things in your favor.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about doing something on your own or with somebody that you met either at school or in one of your other, your other opportunities?
Right now, I'm pushing towards myself. Like over the past year, I was doing the math. I've definitely worked with a lot of people, and I think, in the beginning, it's always exciting, and everyone's kind of putting their best foot forward. And then after a certain period of time, sometimes like the true colors start to show, and I think it's hard to align completely on incentives. And I meet a lot of people because I lived in San Francisco for 8 months. I've met a lot of people who want to do startups, but I feel like when it comes down to it, not everyone really is willing to put what I believe it takes, the energy and effort to put into it to make it succeed.
You haven't met the right person because my guess is you will if you're going to go do this. Doing it on your own is extremely difficult. It's really difficult for a lot of reasons, but one is the isolation. I think it takes a toll, but it's also good to have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of. And when I say somebody, Tom and I are very different on a lot of levels. We're similar, at the core, but operationally we're very different, which is great because he has his, skill set. I have mine. Figure out, you can take a shot. If it doesn't work, you can pivot and go do something else. So.
We have invested in some 21 and 22-year-olds, and we have one right now that's really working well, but they've been at it since they were like 18. And then we have a bunch of other ones that, that were good efforts but didn't really go anywhere. I'm always reminded recently of the, founder of Polymarkets because I first started talking to him when he was 21 years old, or just under 21 actually, and obviously he's built that into something incredible. So it can happen, but listen, go for it, man. Keep calling in, okay, Ben?
Good luck, Ben.
Thanks so much.
Okay, have a good one. Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Hi, Ben.
Let's
over
get
our time.
Quick market update. Not a lot. I mean, they were down a little. SPOOs are up 14 right now, which I think is close to the high for the day. NASDAQ.
Well, they were down when we were talking when we first started the show.
They were down. NASDAQ's up 36. Gold's up 15. Silver's up $1.20. Bitcoin is down 1,000. Ethereum's down $52. Your 10-year really unchanged, and bonds unchanged at 1504.
They were up 12 or 13 ticks this morning, and they were down a couple. But yeah, it's funny. I've been watching some of these. Remember, it's going to get super thin.
Really, yeah.
And
tomorrow's a half day. We got the full day today. Tomorrow's a half day.
Yeah, and some of these NASDAQ stocks, they, like I was trading some Micron this morning, and it was at one point it was up $4 and then or $3.50, and then it was down $2.50. Now it's back up 60 cents. I mean, stuff's kind of, this is going to be thin. Here's something to look at. The VIX, I think it's down under 14 now.
It is 1372.
Yeah, that's the first time it's been down at that level in a long time. And just like Scott said, now we've got into this period between Christmas and New Year's, where we have a half day tomorrow and
Full day Friday.
full day Friday, which is going to trade like a half day.
It's going to trade like half day.
And you got 3 days next week, and that's basically it until we kick off the new year.
2025.
So this market, it's not crashing this year. We are going to close it at record highs or within
Close.
within 1% of record highs. Yeah, so I wouldn't expect too much for the next week or so. By the way, Lossdog is going to be live tomorrow,
That's right.
Wednesday. We'll be live Wednesday.
and we will obviously be closed Thursday because Scott has to celebrate Christmas, and then Friday we'll be working, but we won't be
On air.
We won't be on air. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we'll be on air, and again, we'll be off Thursday and Friday, no show.
And then on starting the week of the 5th, we'll resume 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep. Then we go back to all systems are go, and hopefully our software comes out, very shortly
soon.
thereafter. So, also remember, you can call in and just set up your calls for tomorrow. You can even leave questions on the voicemail if you want to, but we'd rather have you call in live, or you can send emails.
That's right. One lucky dog at lossdog.com. And remember, 989 Lost Dog is our phone number.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your email questions, and tell everybody, we rely on you to tell everybody about Lost Dog and about One Lucky Dog, and
spread the word.
Get excited about the software because we are almost on the dance floor.
Beautiful.
Yay. I love to
All right.
dance.
Thank you for watching. Happy Tuesday, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good one. Hope you're done with your Christmas shopping.